Hello, Washington County. How is your April going? Good? A little chilly? Same. Thanks for pressing play on 15 Minutes with Fuzz, a show about the positive people, organizations, and events here in Washington County, Wisconsin. I am Fuzz Martin. I host this show, and I appreciate you listening. This week, we're showcasing a fun way for you to win a beautiful car while helping others. It's the West Bend Sunrise Rotary's Classics for a Cause Car Raffle. It just got underway a few weeks ago and is going on now through September. Dolf De Ceuster of National Exchange Bank and Trust and the West Bend Sunrise Rotary Club joins me this week to talk about the raffle and the causes it supports. So stay tuned for 15 minutes on the Classics for a Cause Car Raffle with Dolf De Ceuster on 15 Minutes with Fuzz. Dolf, thanks for coming in. Let's first talk about West Bend Sunrise Rotary. So between Sunrise Rotary, there's Noon Rotary, Kiwanis, Lions Club, Moose Lodge, a bunch of other service organizations in the area. What is the purpose of the Rotary and specifically the Sunrise Rotary?
Well, Rotary's been around for over 100 years, and it's an international organization. Really, the main motto is service above self, and that's really what we strive to do is kind of put service, community service, customer service above your own, not well-being, but make that essentially the most important piece of our mission. Again, like I said, it's international, and locally we have two clubs in West Bend. There's the Noon Club and then the Sunrise Club. I'm part of the Sunrise Rotary Club that meets on Tuesday mornings. And really the biggest piece that we try to do is find a way to raise funds and drum up support and volunteer around our community to support our community and people that are not as well off and other organizations that need that same kind of support. And we also have a small component of our club that donates towards international causes. A small piece of our budget goes toward international things, which could be in developing countries and so on and so forth. And then we also, as members, support the International Rotary Foundation on an annual basis to support what they do internationally. So
I know that you've got a tight-knit group of people that are involved with the Sunrise Rotary. I've been at one of Jeff Spirits on Maine's events that he held for the Rotary in the basement. You guys did the gingerbread house, but you guys service a lot of those different types of organizations and causes and different programs, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, Jeff is one of our members and nicely donates his space for us to hold some of our social things. And
not just his space, he had some bourbon, I think, too.
He did, yeah. I wasn't going to add that, but I think that goes with the space.
Right.
But yeah, the gingerbread house is one thing we've done every year. Weekly during our meetings, we all pay some fines and we have some trivia questions we do. And essentially at the end of the year, that helps us give back money to support some of the families through the gingerbread house. And every year we do a social event where we wrap those gifts and get everything ready to bring it to those families. So that one specifically was that, yeah.
Yeah, and you guys also do, I know you're heavily involved with Enchantment in the Park, right?
Yep, absolutely. We have the Enchantment raffle that we do every year is a fundraiser for our club specifically. Mm-hmm. A good amount of our members are involved with Enchantment in the park, which means our club is heavily involved with it to support those members. So yeah, you'll see a lot of Rotary members work in the evenings in Enchantment, helping support it with our time and financially. So yeah, we're pretty heavily involved with that. And I believe that was originally started by some Rotary members.
Oh, that's great. That's great. And then how long have you been a member and what made you become a part of the Sunrise Rotary?
I've been in Rotary itself for about 6 years. Initially, when I joined, I was actually in our Fond du Lac Club, also in the Morning Club. And it was initially because I was in the Fond du Lac market, living in West Bend, but working in Fond du Lac. And it was a good way for me to start getting to know people and networking a little bit. A recommendation was made by some of the people at our bank in Fond du Lac, and they said this would be a great organization for you to really dig into the community. I had, as a high schooler, been able to help in some fundraising events for All Children's Hospital and a couple other things down in Florida. And at that point, probably wasn't smart enough to really help with fundraising, but we were mostly muscle help.
Sure.
And really enjoyed the mission behind it, what they did, and the idea of a lot of people coming together and raising funds for something different than themselves and giving back to the community. So I was part of it back then. So I always wanted to be part of a service club in one way, shape, or form. And my kids are at the age and my life is at the phase where it made sense for me to do that. So 6 years ago, I joined Rotary. 4 years ago, I moved to the West Bend Club when I took over the office work-wise in West Bend. And I've been with the West Bend Sunrise Rotary for 4 years now.
You're also heavily involved in the West Bend Area Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
And you're a vice president at National Exchange Bank and Trust, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's all good. And it's funny how you just fell into the president role at the Sunrise Rotary, right?
Sure.
And then also in the chamber, right?
Yeah, that happens, right?
Yeah,
People ask, and it's easy to say yes sometimes.
Yes, it's very hard to say no. I know how that goes. As the president of the 9/11 Memorial and the vice president of the Volunteer Center, and also board member at the chamber. You have a big event coming up. It's actually going on right now. It is the Classics for a Cause annual car raffle. You guys are raffling off. It's a gorgeous 2017 Chevy Z51 LT2 Corvette. It's white and has 12,000 miles on it. One owner. It's absolutely gorgeous. What can you tell us about the raffle and the purpose of the raffle?
Well, you heard me talk a little bit about fundraisers that we do as a club. It helps our bottom line and help us have a budget to do what we do. The Classics for a Cause raffle has been going on. This is the 4th year we're doing it, the 4th car we're raffling off. Originally was started by the Senior Citizens Activities, and they asked us to partner with them on it. So we've partnered with them for the last couple of years on it. And essentially, it's obviously a raffle to help support those two organizations, which in turn then supports other organizations around the county and the surrounding areas. So the car is absolutely gorgeous. You're right. It's in my opinion, by far the nicest car we've had. So we're really excited about it this year, and we're hoping for yet another really successful year. People have probably seen us around town quite a bit. I mean, we do the local fairs in surrounding counties. We do the farmers market. We do a lot of local events. So keep an eye out for it. And yeah, absolutely. Hopefully come support us, and knowing that it's all going to go towards good causes. So.
Yeah, definitely. So again, to the West Bend Sunrise Rotary and the Senior Citizens Activities, Inc. of West Bend.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about Senior Citizens Activities, Inc. What is their purpose?
So they are literally what it sounds like. It's for senior citizen activities, and what they do is they do a lot of programming. And again, a lot of people are probably familiar with the organization, but they do programming for senior citizens, retired people, or people close to retirement, to have a social aspect. They do a lot of active things, exercises. Pickleball, I'm pretty sure, is a huge part of it.
Sure, yeah.
But, and a lot of probably cards and again, social activities to keep those people engaged with people their age and so on and so forth. So this, for them, directly, again, affects their bottom line and the activities they can put out for the seniors around town.
How many tickets for the Classics for a Cause raffle are you guys going to sell? Is there a cap to that?
This year, the cap is going to be 7,500.
Okay.
In the past years, it was a little bit higher. It was 10,000. We've never really gotten to that amount.
Sure.
And we also changed the price of the ticket a little bit this year, mostly because we're trying to match up with what other car raffles like this do, and also because the car is a step up from what we had in past years.
Sure.
But yeah, 7,500 is where it caps out at. There won't be any more sold than that.
How much are tickets?
Tickets are $40 each, or 3 for $100. So obviously, the more you buy, you get a little bit of incentive there.
Yep.
And we do have sponsorships, small or big. If people want to support it one way or the other, sponsors get tickets in the amount that they sponsor for, that they can give back to customers and so on and so forth. So, but yeah, $40 each, or 3 for $100 is what we have this year.
Now, when and where are you guys drawing the raffle for the vehicle?
The drawing will be on September 16th at the Senior Citizens Golf Outing. We've done that in the past. We figured it was a good time to do it. There's not a lot of events that we normally attend in fall. This past year, because of COVID, we had it a little bit later. It was closer to Thanksgiving, the drawing. We decided to move it back up to the September timeframe because it made more sense with what we're trying to accomplish. So
sure. And I assume you don't have to be present to win.
You do not have to be present.
Okay.
No.
And
good. There's a cash option for the winner. So there is an option to take a $40,000 cash prize if they so choose. It'd be silly in my opinion, because you can probably sell the car for more than that. But there is that option if somebody says, hey, I don't need the car or don't want the car, I'll take the cash option.
I'd have to sell the car to buy a garage.
Right.
And have to, no.
It's a lot of work, I'm sure. But
we'll make it happen if I win, Dolf.
Right.
Where can people buy the tickets for the raffle?
There is a website for the Classics for a Cause and again, that'll be up. People cannot buy tickets online, but it'll tell you where the events are going to be and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Again, keep an eye out for the car. It stands out quite a bit, and there will be other places. I believe Jeff's will be selling it.
Okay. Do Rotary members also sell them, or is it?
Absolutely. Anybody that's part of a Rotary club or anybody that's on the board for the Senior Citizens Activities Center. I don't know exactly if all the members there will be selling it. But
Sure.
But yes, any Rotary member, absolutely. And again, if you want to go on the website, it will have contact information there if you want to reach out to somebody. But otherwise, keep an eye out for the car around town at the events and strike up a conversation with the people there selling it, because that's the fun way to learn about it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. How many tickets are you going to buy?
Oh, I'll see. I do like, this is my favorite car, and I do buy tickets every single year. I haven't won it yet, obviously,
Sure.
but this is my favorite cars. I will absolutely be buying some tickets.
Do you know what other cars you guys have had in the past? This is only the 4th annual one, right?
It is a 4th annual because the first COVID year, we held off and we
Sure.
essentially grandfathered that car into last year's raffle.
Okay.
And that was a 2007 Ford Mustang.
Oh, cool.
Before that, we had a 69 Corvette that was fully restored and was gorgeous red Corvette. And before that, I believe it was a different Mustang. So we've kind of tried to keep it different, because as we start talking to people at these events selling tickets, you'll hear people say, but it's a Chevy. I don't want that. I'm a Ford person. Or it's a Ford. I'm only a Chevy person.
Right.
So we do try to switch it up a little bit, but all these cars are awesome. So
Yeah, definitely. Well, if you are a Ford person, I think you could just sit down and drive it if you win it and maybe change your mind.
right.
Again, drawing is on September 16th, and it'll take place at West Bend Lakes Golf Course, but you don't need to be present to win. There might be some other prizes as well, right? You guys are kind of still working out some of the details at the time of this recording, but there may be some second or third place prizes.
Yeah, we're trying to work out some incentives to increase people's odds at winning something, right? Rather
Sure.
than just one ticket. Although we cap the amount of tickets that we sell, we want people to have some incentive to buy tickets. And although it's obviously to support good causes,
Yeah.
it's also fun to win something. So the better the odds are, the more likely people are willing to throw some money at it. So
Yeah, absolutely. So again, people can find more information at classicsforacause.org. Dolf, thanks for all you do. Thanks for coming in, and thanks for saying yes to everything so that you ended up here today.
Absolutely.
Thanks again to Dolf De Ceuster of the West Bend Sunrise Rotary Club for joining me on this week's episode of 15 Minutes with Fuzz. I do appreciate you coming on the show and for giving us those details on that beautiful Corvette Z51 that the West Bend Sunrise Rotary Club is raffling off. And thanks again to you for popping 15 Minutes with Fuzz into your ears. I do appreciate you joining me each and every week. Reminder, new episodes launch every Monday at midnight. Also, I'm going through and transcribing every episode for those who are hearing impaired. So that should be up on the website before the next episode launches next Monday. Be sure to hit the subscribe button on your favorite podcast player, Apple, Spotify, or Google. And we'll talk to you next week right here on 15 Minutes with Fuzz.